And the BBC television Shakespeare production of the second part of Henry VI can be seen tonight here on 2 at 7:15. Next Sunday at 5 to 5, Michael Wood traces the historical background to the final play in the trilogy. This BBC book, Shakespeare in Perspective, Volume 1, is available from bookshops. The price is £3.95. On BBC One, in just over 5 minutes, Tom and Barbara Good begin to introduce livestock into suburbia, much to the dismay of the neighbours, in pursuit, of course, of the good life. And here on 2 now, we join Jan Leeming for a roundup of the week's events in News Review.
Good evening. For most of this week, one man has been stealing the headlines. But then came Saturday, and Mrs. Thatcher snatched them right back again with her surprise, unannounced visit to the Falkland Islands. This week has also seen the start of what appears to be a new phase in disarmament talks between the Eastern and Western blocs. First, however, the story of the man who broke the law, yet got a welcome more suited to that of a conquering hero. He was Captain Kirk, a Danish fisherman and politician who crossed the North Sea to test Britain's fishing laws. He was determined to make a challenge to the British decision to exclude Danish trawlers from fishing inside the 12-mile limit around the coast. It's a very complex international issue that hasn't yet been resolved. The various national measures imposed by member countries of the common market haven't been endorsed by the EEC Commission. The Danish government warned Captain Kirk and other Danish skippers that they should not test Britain's regulations yet, but many seem determined to try to fish inside the 12-mile limit, despite risking a hefty fine in the British courts. Captain Kirk, however, was prepared to go even further than his fellow skippers. He actually wanted to get himself arrested. As a member of the European Parliament, he felt that it was up to the European courts to test the British rules. Danish authorities tried to stop him leaving the port of Esbjerg, saying it was a provocative act. But Captain Kirk said that he was determined to go ahead unless he was officially recalled. And then, at the end of the day, he got what he wanted. He was arrested aboard ship 10 miles off the Tyneside coast. The next day, he appeared in a magistrate's court, and he was fined £30,000 with £400 costs. If he didn't pay up, the magistrates at North Shields told him he would be sent to prison. But Captain Kirk did pay up, kept smiling, and then went back home saying it had been worthwhile. An outspoken member of the European Parliament, Mr. Kirk maintained British waters were also Danish waters. They were backed up by British fishery protection boats. But if there had been any need to board, the rough weather would have intervened. It actually prevented the Danish boats, who might have been tempted to, from doing any fishing. This is how Captain Kirk had planned the confrontation. Now he was hoping that once the Sand Kirk had got to Britain, he would be arrested, and then he would be able to take his case to the European Court.
hope I will get that result, that it will be possible to bring all member states back to the negotiation table so we can get a CFP, everybody in the EC and Finland.
Lieutenant, have you ever had a more willing prisoner?
I've found that all the fishing skippers I visit are very cooperative. I've never had problems with any of them, whatever nation.
Nevertheless, the reception for somebody suspected of breaking the British law has been astonishing. Captain Kirk pleaded not guilty to deliberately fishing illegally and pressed on with his attempt to get the magistrates to refer the case to the European Court.
What do you think you've achieved today?
I have achieved that we just started. It's not me who have to fight. Oh, I have to fight now, but now it's the lawyers who have to fight.
How are you feeling?
Are you surprised at the amount of response you've had from the public? I mean, this is quite amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I hope the public understand what we are trying to do. I'm fighting for some principle, and I will still do that. Now I've used my lawyers to do it, and I think they do a good job.
Then it was off home for Mr. Kirk, with best wishes for a